Greetings. Welcome to EDTV News Channel, the People's Channel. In this report, we have a few stories for talk about, including two international news. Stay tuned for the full reports. Blessings to all subscribers and viewers. If you're here for the first time, you can support the channel by like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. So we'll start off with the international news. Jamaican man wanted in the US for setting man on fire, held in a dramatic capture. So we'll get into the report. A Jamaican fugitive and illegal immigrant wanted for his suspected involvement in a gruesome 2019 torture and arson case in Massachusetts was arrested yesterday in a dramatic capture at the Panama City Beach in Florida. Dushian Jerome Simon was located and arrested on Thursday on Panama City Beach by members of the Bay County Sheriff's Office Criminal and Special Investigation Division, along with the U.S. Marshal Fugitive Task Force, the Sheriff's Office said. The news media understand that Simon, 26, was wanted in connection to a case in Springfield, Massachusetts, where the victim was robbed, kidnapped, tortured, and ultimately set on fire. Simon reportedly fled Massachusetts prior to his trial for his involvement in the case. The Bay County Sheriff's Office said they were contacted on January 15 by authorities in Massachusetts who were willing to extradite him for these charges if the BSCO could locate him. Surveillance began and Simon was promptly located at an apartment on Panama City Beach. The news media gathered that Simon tried to elude the authorities by jumping from a third-story balcony as he fled on foot into a nearby wooded area. He was pursued and captured a short distance away. Simon is currently booked as a fugitive from justice at the Bay County Jail. A U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE hold has also been placed on him. The authorities say Simon does not have a valid visa to be in the U.S. and has a prior arrest history. He has a final deportation order and will be deported from the country upon his release from custody. Meanwhile, the authorities said Simon, who was 21 at the time of the offense, was allegedly among a group of 3 who committed a home invasion on Roosevelt Avenue in Springfield, Massachusetts on September 30, 2019. Investigators say Simon was wearing a Massachusetts Probation Department GPS ankle bracelet during the attack, and they believe he ran away from the area since his bracelet was later located on the side of 495 in eastern Massachusetts. The police say there was a marijuana being grown inside the home of the victim, and police believe that was likely the reason he was targeted. The victim sustained critical injuries after being badly burned and tortured. The suspect also robbed cash and stole a motor vehicle during the incident. Now, people, we'll move on to the next international news. U.S. authorities nabbed 2 Jamaicans with criminal conviction. So we'll get into the report. The United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE agency says it has arrested 2 Jamaicans nationals convicted of criminal offenses in the U.S., including one wanted in Jamaica. ICE said they had arrested Sanjay Saivan Walsh, 28, convicted of Waldong and Ticket assaulting 2 minors and tampering with evidence on December 17. Mr. Walsh was convicted of committing unspeakable crimes against 2 minors, and he was sentenced to prison for it. said ICE Enforcement and Removal Operation ERO Boston Acting Field Officer Director Patricia Hyde. Boston lodged an immigration detainer against him so our officers could safely arrest him upon his release, but the Connecticut Department of Correction official refused to honor the detainer. Our officers had to arrest Mr. Walsh in the community after his release from prison, even though he was convicted of terrible crimes against minors and is removable from the U.S. base, and his conviction, I'd added. I said the state of Connecticut Superior Court convicted Walsh of 2 counts of second-degree hold on and take it, assault, and conspiracy to tamper with evidence on June 14, 2023, sentenced him to 10 years in prison, suspending all but the year and 9 months he had already served. The court also required Walsh to register as a hold on and take it offender for 10 years following his release, ICE said. It said also that ERO Boston officers in Hartford arrested 30-year-old Jamaican Leroy Neville White on December 26. I said White, was also known as Kevin White, is the subject of an Interpol red notice for shooting with intent, and that he had been convicted in the United States of first-degree threatening with intent to terrorize and carrying a pistol without a permit. ERO Boston lodged an immigration detainer against Mr. White when police initially arrested him on felony charges. He also wanted in Jamaica for shooting with intent, a very serious crime. On December 26, our officers arrested him in the correctional facility safe control environment. I said, adding, we are always grateful when local police and courts honor our immigration detainers. They help keep our officers, the public, and non-citizens safe. I said Interpol issued red notice to alert police in member countries about internationally wanted fugitives, and that White had unlawfully entered the U.S. on July 11, 2022. A U.S. Department of Justice immigration judge with the Executive Office of Immigration Review had ordered White removed to Jamaica on April 12, 2023, after Jamaican authorities had issued an arrest warrant for him on August 11, 2023, alleging he committed the offense of shooting with intent. I said White will remain in its custody pending his removal from the United States. Now, people, we'll move on back to local soil. St. Catherine man to spend at least 18 years in prison for his wife drop out. So we'll get into the report. 35-year-old Peter Walters was on Friday sentenced to life imprisonment for his wife drop out and must serve 18 years and 5 months behind bars before he becomes eligible to apply for parole. On June 19, 2023, he pleaded guilty to taking out his 34-year-old wife, Nikisha DaCosta Walters of Berkshire Hall in St. Catherine. In handing down the sentence in the St. Catherine Circuit Court on Friday, Justice Bertram Morrison told the accused that the aggravating circumstances outweighed the mitigating circumstances in the case. I think that your action shocked the public's conscience as it was done in the presence of your little one, but it cannot be discounted that you have pleaded guilty, Morrison said. The judge read from the report that Walters was jealous and reacted violently, having been spurned by his wife. Attorney at law Ludlow Black, in his plea in mitigation, had emphasized that his client was remorseful of his action. The court was told that on August 26, 2022, Walters was at home in the Berkshire Hall when a disagreement developed with his wife, who he accused of infidelity. A knife was brought into play, which he used to juke up his wife repeatedly. She dropped out from the injuries she received. He reportedly ran from the community, drove to the Linstead police station, and was taken into custody. He has already spent 2 years and 5 months in custody. So there you have it, people. Please leave your comments in the comment section and tell me what to think. One aim, one God, one destiny. Walk good, talk good, live good. Blessings.